Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
OP Arena is a blast of a game. Now, when I bought this, I didn't expect very much from it. I was hoping something like Smash Up, etc., or something kind of similar to King of Tokyo. And boy, do we have a good game. Now, first of all, the artwork in this game is phenomenal. All right, it's just really, really good. You have tarot-sized cards, and it all looks really, really good. And the graphic art and manipulation of it is very, very good. The humor in it is really funny. Like, we're still going through cards and just finding things that we're laughing about, and we just had a blast with that. Sure, that will wear off at some point, but I'm glad that it was included in here. The rule set is simple enough, although we did have some cards that I was kind of like, I don't know how this is going to do, and Dad just had to make, you know, a game time decision on what some of the cards did. Some of the cards are OP or overpowered, but that is the name of the game. They're all intended to be overpowered, and the game can go pretty quickly. And we did have a runaway leader issue, but in this game, we really did not care. It was all about blasting people, laughing at the jokes, and having a good time. And it accomplished that in spades. I'm not sure this game sold all that well, so I wish that maybe we could get expansions for it or more characters, but there's plenty in this box to keep us happy. If you're looking for something that's perfectly balanced in the next Euro game, this is not going to be it. If you want to play a wild game, almost like Duel of Ages, but something you can actually get to the table, this will accomplish it for you. And it was a blast. We really did have a good time with this one. It's a keeper for us. Here's OP Arena, an epic battle royale of absurd proportions. So this box is going to tell you everything you need to know. Sharks with lasers, some guy on a dinosaur, this big Viking guy. I mean, there's all kinds of Cthulhu's in the background. All kinds of stuff going on. It really tells you what's going to go on in this game. So this is what you're going to get for the scoring. Kind of generic, but it kind of just goes through. It's all you really need, I suppose. Each player is going to get a regular dice. You're going to get some of these that will track damage on their people and little generic scoring tokens. They're not a whole lot to look at, but these are kind of, I like these little jewels and whatever it's listed here. So you're also going to get some of these. These will be the Nerf tokens that you'll use, and they look pretty cool and they fit really well on the cards. The shields I don't like quite as much, but they're okay for what they are, I suppose. But the star of the show is going to be these cards. They're tarot-sized cards, a little bit larger, but the artwork on is phenomenal. So here's a stinky monkey, a shaman. You're going to have all kinds of things. A rubber man. Some of these are really cool. You got the red queen. You got animated chicken bone. And even like a lowly mouse. That's pretty cool to play with. A cursed mummy. All kinds of things you'll see in here. Weird uncle. So, I mean, it's just, it's all play for laughs and stuff. So, here is a crawling hand for some reason, like thing, I guess. Some kind of mecha, filthy zombie, etc. Sentient Cave of Death. So, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can have in here. You look through. The artwork is phenomenal. It's very well put together here. So, the cards are really good quality. Here's the rule book. You got to see a picture of the cover. You're going to have the components listed over here. So there's not too many. And it's going to tell you a little bit. It has to explain why it's got dudes and not dudettes. And then set it without a picture, but you really don't need one for this. How to play a breakdown. There's no play rate, so you just leave this open until you can memorize it. Then it shows you the breakdown of the cards. There's a little bit to learn there. Not too bad. My kids were able to pick it up. And a little bit more in detail about what you're doing here. So it's not too hard. Clean up game end. It tells you how that is. And if you want to play with some variants, you might need 5 minutes to look through this, and then you'll be up and playing in no time. So the gist of the game is you're going to have these dudes that will be in. That's what they're called, dudes. They're going to have information on them, etc. that you can see here. And there's a whole bunch of these in the deck. So let's talk about what they do. So on your turn, you're allowed to discard one of these out. If they have somebody's damage they've got on, that's fine. That might be a strategic reason why you want to get rid of them. What you'll do is you'll discard it, so you'll get a point for each one. White will. And they'll go up on 3 victory points, and this will be discarded out of the game. Then if you have less than 2 dudes, you can say, call all dudes, and you can play another dude from your hand, and anybody who has less than 2 can put a card out. Because really the game wants these dudes to be out. It's kind of how the game is going to function. Then if you have a shield, you can place it on one of your cards or any other one you want. And what shields are going to do is somebody tries to put a nerf on it, it'll basically block it and the shield will go away. Or you can put a shield down on somebody. Now, one of the rules of the game is you're not allowed to ask people what the powers are. You're kind of supposed to just maybe when you know the game, you'll know them better. But for the most part, you're supposed to be randomized, but you can just put a nerf down on somebody and it will just block whatever it is, and that power will no longer be available. You're going to start the game out with one of these. There's other ways to get them, but for the most part, that's what you're going to have. Then you're going to roll the power dice, and the dice is going to tell you how you're going to activate things. You will get 3 white cubes at the beginning of the game. These are reroll cubes. So if you don't like it, you can spin it and reroll the dice. Now you only get 3 of these during the game. Once they're used, guess what? They're gone forever. Then you're going to use a dice to activate. There's a few things you can activate here. If you always want to, remember, whenever it shows a number, you can always be that number or higher. So I could activate this if I wanted to, and the zombie would do 2 damage to somebody. You would take your sparkly things and put it on whatever cards you want to attack. But in this case, I'd probably use this one because it would give me 3 instead of the 2. Now, if it has one of these on there, you can always give it up, and I can grab that many shields of, or what they call tokens, but these are shields or nerfs, up to that number, so I can get rid of 3 of these. It doesn't matter if this number was 6 and I used it there, I would still only get 3. I can choose between nerf and shields in whatever combination I want. If it has an exclamation point on it, as you see here, that means it has a power on it. That's kind of always happening. So in this case, he's unkillable. Cannot be killed or take damage. Sorry, you cannot kill a cave. So it just kind of tells you, the player, that it has an ongoing power. This one says it also cannot be killed or take damage. This one right here says, sneak attack. When another player places a shield or nerf token, do 3 damage to one of their dudes. So remember, you're not supposed to be able to tell people what powers you have. So sometimes they'll just put this out and they're like, that does damage instead. And that's kind of the game there. You'll see a dice like this. This is a 1 pip up here. That means if anybody on any turn plays a 1 dice, which is a special one. If you ever have a dice you don't want to use, you can just give it up and take a shield or a nerf from the supply. But if you roll particularly bad roll, which is a 1, you can take 2, either 2 nerfs or a shield and a nerf, or 2 shields, any combination thereof. But if somebody plays a 1, then you're going to activate this power that says when any player rolls a 1, kill one of the non-mech dudes. So that's going to happen. So that's what that will mean up there. Otherwise, you also have powers down here. So like this is a 4+. So I rolled a 6. I could do that and kill any human, animal, or monster, gluten-free and 0 carbs. Or I could do the thriller dance. Take up to 3 random cards from the dude discard pile, add them to your hand. So you can activate the powers on them. Once you're done doing that, if you have any cards in your hand, you can discard them. Say I want to discard this guy for some reason, and then you draw up to 3. There's no hand limit, so if you have more than 3 or more, then you just do not draw any cards. And that's how a turn will go. So let's say this gets some gems on it, and there's enough gems on there to bust. So 7 will bust it. They'll have the health down here. So if this busts, whoever did the final blow will get 3 points. Whoever has the most gems, in this case red, will get 2 points. And whoever has the second most will get 1. Anybody who's 3rd or 4th or 5th or whatever will not score anything. And then this dude will go away into the discard pile and be out of the game. If something says kill, automatically, that's great. You did a death blow, you'll get 3 points for that. First person to 30 points will be the winner of the game. And that's how you play OP Arena. Who should buy this game? Anybody who's wanting a battler game, anybody who's wanting something that's just pure fun. You don't mind just beating up people. It's not going to be balanced. You're not going to worry about, this card, you had the better card. It's all about just, your guys are going to die. They're going to find a better place to go, and you're going to battle it out and have a good time. I see some teenagers having fun with this one, like a Cub Scout group or whatever, Boy Scout group, just having a blast with this one. Our family really liked it. OP Arena was a huge, unexpected hit for us.